The Egyptian king is tearing up his contract. A £110 million successor is on red alert in Paris, and a 15-year-old wonder kid has just snubbed Manchester City to stay at Anfield. As Andoni Iraola's revolution kicks into gear, the Liverpool we knew is disappearing before our eyes. But is this a brilliant evolution or a desperate scramble for the future? We've got the full breakdown of the massive news shaking Liverpool tonight.
Mohamed Salah moves closer to shock Fenerbahce transfer after Liverpool exit. After years of unforgettable moments at Anfield, Mohamed Salah's Liverpool journey is officially over. But while the Egyptian king has left Merseyside, the biggest question in football right now is simple: where will he go next? Salah agreed to terminate his Liverpool contract a year early, bringing an end to one of the most successful eras in the club's modern history. The 33-year-old is now a free agent and available to sign for any club willing to secure one of football's biggest names. Naturally, interest is pouring in from across the globe. Clubs from the Saudi Pro League remain strongly interested, while MLS side San Diego FC has also been linked with a move for the former Liverpool superstar. However, despite his age, Salah believes he still has plenty left to offer at the highest level of European football. That belief could now open the door to a surprising new destination. According to reports in Turkey, Fenerbahce are stepping up their efforts to sign Salah. The Istanbul Giants are reportedly prepared to offer the Egyptian winger a massive 3-year contract worth around €90 million in total wages. Club director Ertan Toranogulari recently suggested that Salah could earn around €30 million per season if he makes the move to Turkey. And now fresh reports claim transfer discussions have officially begun. According to Turkish outlet Photomatch, Fenerbahce have initiated negotiations for the Egyptian star. The report adds that Salah is open to a move to Turkey and would like clarity on his future before the FIFA World Cup comes to an end. The report also states that contact is expected with Salah's representatives as talks continue behind the scenes. If negotiations progress positively, this could quickly become one of the biggest transfers of the summer window. Despite the growing speculation, Salah's agent Rami Abbas Issa has remained cautious. In a recent statement, he insisted neither he nor Salah are interested in discussing sensitive future plans publicly, and emphasized that both prefer to keep negotiations private. That response has done little to slow the rumors. In fact, it may only add more intrigue, as football fans around the world wait for Salah's next decision. For now, the Egyptian captain remains focused on representing his country at the World Cup. Once Egypt's tournament journey is complete, attention is expected to turn fully towards his club future. Will Mohamed Salah choose the riches of Saudi Arabia, a new challenge in America, or could Fenerbahce pull off one of the most sensational free transfers in recent history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Where should Salah play next season? And if you're enjoying the latest Liverpool updates, make sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story from Anfield Central.
Liverpool handed huge boost for £110 million PSG sensation. How do you replace the irreplaceable? That is the £110 million question facing Andoni Iraola as he looks to fill the void left by Mohamed Salah. But there has been a massive breakthrough in the hunt for a successor. Liverpool have been handed a huge boost in their pursuit of PSG's Bradley Barcola. The 23-year-old Frenchman has been top of the recruitment list for a while, but the Parisians have always played hardball, until now. Reports from L'Equipe suggest that PSG are no longer completely opposed to a sale this summer. Before this update, Barcola was seen as an untouchable part of the post-Mbappé era in Paris, but contract extension talks have hit a proper stalemate. With only 2 years left on his deal, the newly crowned European champions are starting to get twitchy. They know his value is at its peak, and they don't want another asset running down their contract. For Liverpool, the timing couldn't be better. With Salah out the door, the Reds need a marquee signing to show the world they still mean business. The conflict, of course, is the price and the competition. PSG are reportedly demanding an eye-watering £110 million for the winger. That would make him the most expensive signing in Liverpool's history. And we aren't alone in the race. Arsenal are also hovering, looking to add more elite pace to their title-winning squad. There is also the tactical debate. Do we go all in for Barcola, or do we look at RB Leipzig's Yan Diomande, who would cost significantly less at £80 million? The facts are clear. Barcola is a proper player. He's got elite pace, outstanding dribbling, and can play anywhere across the front line. He's 23, fits the FSG profile perfectly, and has already won major trophies in France. Last season was another standout campaign for him, and Iraola is said to be enamoured of his ability to press from the front. However, £110 million is a massive gamble during a summer where reinforcements are needed in multiple positions. Honestly, if we want to stay at the top, these are the types of signings we have to make. Barcola is a box-office winger who could be the face of the Iraola era. Yes, £110 million is steep, but in this market you pay a premium for world-class potential. If we lose him to Arsenal because we were haggling over £20 million, the fans will be livid. But I have to ask, is he really worth £30 million more than Diomande? Would you break the bank for Barcola or play it smart with a cheaper option?
Elliot's last stand. The truth behind his wasted year and Iraola's clean slate. Could a player who was once our brightest young hope be facing his final summer at Anfield? Harvey Elliott is back at Liverpool, but he's returning from a loan spell at Aston Villa that can only be described as a wasted year. It's a bizarre situation. On paper, Elliott had a successful season. He lifted the Europa League trophy and celebrated the victory with his teammates. But behind the scenes, it was a proper nightmare for the 23-year-old, who found himself frozen out by Unai Emery. The backstory is a classic case of transfer politics. Elliott moved to Villa Park for what was expected to be a permanent $47 million switch. He needed minutes that Arne Slot couldn't provide at the time. However, within weeks, Emery made it clear he didn't fancy him. Why? Because Villa didn't want to trigger the permanent deal due to PSR restrictions. So instead of playing, a world-class talent was left to rot on the bench just to save the club some money. It's absolute rubbish treatment for a player of his caliber. The conflict now lies in what happens next. Elliott is back at square one. He's 23 now, no longer a prospect, and he needs to be playing every single week. Andoni Iraola has promised every player a clean slate, but with the Reds linked to wingers worth £110 million and the emergence of kids like Ngamoha and Abe, where does Harvey fit in? RB Leipzig are reportedly waiting in the wings to rekindle their interest, and Elliott has a massive decision to make: stay and fight for his place under a new gaffer, or move abroad to save his career. The facts are sobering. Despite being fit and training diligently, Elliott hasn't featured consistently for months. He's won the Premier League and now a Europa League, so he knows what it takes to succeed, but he's at a crossroads. Liverpool are short on attacking options right now, which might give him a glimmer of hope, but Iraola's high-intensity system is demanding. He needs a manager who actually believes in him, something he clearly didn't have in the Midlands. Giving you my honest take, Harvey Elliott is a proper player who's been massively let down by poor planning. The move to Villa was a mistake from the start. If Iraola can't guarantee him minutes, we have to let him go for his own sake. He's too good to be a bit-part player at 23. But with Salah leaving, there might just be a Harvey Elliott-shaped hole in that squad if he can rediscover his confidence. What do you think? Should Harvey stay and fight, or is it time for him to move to the Bundesliga?
The new Salah. Liverpool fend off Man City to sign 15-year-old wonder kid. While the first team is in a state of flux, Liverpool have just secured a deal that many within the club are calling a huge development for the future. Richard Hughes has officially tied down 15-year-old sensation Joshua Abe to a scholar deal. Now, I know what you're thinking, he's only 15, but this isn't just any academy lad. Abe is being spoken about in the same breath as Rio Ngoma, and the battle to keep him at Kirkby was an absolute war. Before this deal was signed, there was a genuine fear that we'd seen the last of Abe in a red shirt. He's been at the club since he was 4 years old, but after a serious leg injury in March, the vultures began to circle. Real Madrid reportedly rolled out the red carpet for the England U16 international, and Manchester City were pushing harder than anyone to lure him away from Merseyside. It looked for a moment like we were going to lose one of our brightest sparks to our biggest rivals. The conflict was intense. Fending off the likes of City, United and Chelsea for a teenager is no small feat. It shows that despite the change in gaffer, Liverpool is still seen as the finest finishing school for young talent. The drama of his injury only added to the tension. Many wondered if he'd ever recover his elite pace, but the club has sent a massive message of faith by not only securing his signature, but integrating him immediately into the senior setup. The facts are incredible for a lad his age. Abe has already featured in the UEFA Youth League and for the under-18s. Now he has been allocated a senior squad number 40, and he is set to join the first-team squad for the pre-season tour of the United States. With so many senior stars away at the World Cup, the path is clear for him to make his mark. He'll celebrate his 16th birthday next month, and the club honestly views him as a long-term successor to Mohamed Salah. My honest take, this is a massive win for Richard Hughes. Losing a talent like Abe to City would have been rubbish, a sign that the academy was losing its pull. Instead, we've got a kid who has been a Red since he could walk, ready to step up to the plate. If he's even half as good as the scouts say, we've got a proper player on our hands. But we have to be careful. 15 is so young to be around the senior pros. Do you think it's too much too soon, or is Abe the next big thing we should all be hyped about?
Klopp's ultimate front two, how Barca are building the attack Liverpool never had. Is it possible that the greatest strike partnership Jurgen Klopp ever imagined is finally going to happen, just not at Liverpool? It's a bitter pill to swallow, but Klopp's transfer dream is reportedly becoming a reality at Barcelona. 2 years ago, Klopp was desperate to bring Anthony Gordon to Anfield to pair him with Darwin Núñez, but the deals never quite aligned. Fast forward to 2026, and Gordon has completed a move to the new camp, and now the Catalan giants are reportedly targeting our former number 9. The context here is a bit of a tragedy for the Reds. Darwin Núñez left Anfield last summer for Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League, but his time in the desert has been a proper struggle. After the signing of Karim Benzema, Darwin slipped down the pecking order and hasn't actually featured for his club since February. His reputation has taken a massive hit over the last 12 months, but Barcelona see an opportunity. With Robert Lewandowski set to depart, they need a new focal point, and they think Núñez's tireless running is the perfect foil for Gordon's pace. The conflict is purely financial and tactical. Barcelona have spent a huge chunk of their budget on Anthony Gordon, so they are looking for cost-effective options to lead the line. Because Núñez's stock is so low right now, he represents a bargain for a club of Barca's stature. For Liverpool fans, seeing these two tear it up in La Liga would be absolute rubbish. We spent years defending Darwin's chaotic brilliance, and now he might finally find his feet in a team Klopp essentially designed in his head. The facts are intriguing. Gordon's pace and directness were exactly what Klopp wanted to dovetail with Núñez's physical presence. While Marcus Rashford is also an option for Barca after his loan spell, the Gordon-Núñez link-up is the one generating all the headlines. Darwin is reportedly desperate for a return to high-level European football, and the chance to prove his doubters wrong at the new camp is surely too good to turn down. My honest take, it's a bizarre twist of fate. We always knew there was a world-class player inside Darwin Núñez, and if he finds it at Barcelona alongside Anthony Gordon, it'll be one of the biggest what-ifs in Liverpool history. Klopp had the vision, but the timing was just off. I'd love to see Darwin